continue then with our roadshow, and local government is expected to take centre stage at the President's State of the Nation address on Thursday. In his speech in 2024, the President lamented that many municipalities were failing on governance, financial and service delivery measures. Some of these municipalities are found in the Free State, and this is where Aldrin Sampear has been deployed this morning. The South African Human Rights Commission had an inquiry last year into the dire state of municipalities in that province, Aldrin. So one can only imagine the plethora of needs and demands that they would be making from this year's State of the Nation address.
Well, certainly, Aman, also considering that we are in Bloemfontein, in Mangaung, it's considered to be the city of roses, but there's nothing rosy about the city in its current state, and also looking at the debilitating state of some of the buildings, the derelict nature of some of these buildings as well, and also this issue that has been raised about the sewage spillage, for instance, and the refuse not being collected. And that's one of the reasons that the South African Human Rights Commission started that particular inquiry. If you look at the statement that was released last year by the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Velinkosini Thabisa, there's nothing unique about Mangaung and its current state. Out of the 257 municipalities in the country, 41 are under administration, including this particular one. And of those 257 municipalities, only 30 of those municipalities, 11.67% are regarded as stable. Once again, speaking to this point about the dire state of local government, and this is something that has also been lamented by the Auditor General of the country. Let's now bring in from the South African Human Rights Commission, here in the Free State, Thonoko Modise, who is with the South African Human Rights Commission. Speak to us quickly about the inquiry that you had, the findings that were made, and the recommendations that then went to the provincial government. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having us, Aldrin. The Human Rights Commission took the steps to initiate an inquiry regarding the state of service delivery in the province. And this was created by a number of complaints that we received across the province, and that related to access to sanitation, water, dilapidated wastewater treatment works, generally, generic service delivery services, which has collapsed in the province. And this prompted the Commission to start this inquiry, which, made several findings of, collapse of infrastructure, the fact that there are quite a number of key infrastructure that are not repaired or maintained, a shortage of key strategic, key people in leadership positions or managerial positions, looking at, old infrastructure generally, mismanagement of municipal funds, to an extent that as you correctly stated, that issues of the Auditor General saying not even one of the municipalities in the past audit found, municipalities to be in compliance with, accounting standards. So that really, depicts a dire state of municipalities in the province. And we have given out findings to all municipalities and our recommendations. What we have done, we have given them 3 months to respond and to give us written plans that are put in place to make sure that, what we found, which are human rights violations, are corrected. And obviously, we will be monitoring this very closely. We gave our report we released our report in last year on the 19th of November 2024. So by the 19th of March 2025 will be the last day where these reports will be expected. Plans that municipalities must put in place, to say this is how they are going to redress. Otherwise, we would not really, mince our words as the Commission to really enforce, steps that will really seek to redress these violations.
Yep. Let's then quickly speak about some of the interventions that would happen from a provincial level, because the MEC did table that particular report that you spoke about before the legislature. Then the question is, once there is this intervention from a provincial level, here in Mangaung, it started back in 2019, but it didn't work out. That in 2022, National then said that it has to intervene, but it still remains under administration. Are these interventions working?
To some extent, Adrian, after our report, strangely, we have seen, quite an improvement. For example, when you look at, sewer spillages in the township areas which were hotspots, our monitoring team, drove around the area in Mangaung, just, looking at those areas. And we found that, there is quite a number of areas where these spillages are no longer taking place. So in the high side, we're thinking perhaps this is a positive step towards a proper direction. But we believe that there should be more improvement because, refuse collection also remains a challenge. Illegal dumping remains a challenge. We did an inspection around the landfill site where we also found that people are still littering on the road across that area. So we believe that proper management on landfill and proper refuse collection would really assist. We hope that there will be improvement as we've seen with the sewer spillages. Although the road infrastructure remains at a very critical stage, roads are very bad across Mangaung.
Quickly, a bit later on in the next hour, we'll be in conversation with the mayor of Mangaung, Modise, and we know about the political instability in the province and how that has had an impact as well on the province, as well as this particular municipality. What would you like to hear from him?
Well, firstly, we want to really hear from the mayor, the plans that they have in making sure that, housing backlog is addressed. Secondly, we want to know and really to be put abreast as the Commission on, how informal settlements, will be formalized. We have seen recently last year when, there were people in a certain area in Lorry Park when they were evicted. And that area, people are still residing in those areas and those conditions still remains the same. They're still having challenges of water and they're still in those shacks. So we hope that, we will get, a commitment from the mayor, to meet with the Commission and also really to undertake and make a commitment to residents of Mangaung to say they are going to see a change, cleaner Mangaung, efficient management of, administration of Mangaung and better services for residents of Mangaung.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. That is Thonoko Modise, who is from the Free State Provincial Office of the South African Human Rights Commission. And as we've indicated, that we will be in conversation with the Mangaung Mayor in the next hour, Gregory Nthatisi, as we speak about some of these challenges that have been faced. But I have to also say, Iman, just ahead of the elections last year, when the DA was in this province, campaigning in the province, this is what they had to say. Over 92% of the province's residents are too poor to even be registered with SAHRC. And if you think about that, does the municipalities or do the municipalities have enough funds to actually cater for those residents? Are they able to collect enough revenue from residents, considering that, according to the DA, 92% of the province's population don't earn enough to even be registered with SAHRC?